friends. Is everyone here?
Nope. Brooke is late, as always.
I'm sure she'll be here soon. She's probably just having some technical difficulties.
Or she got.
She only forgot that one time. I don't know why we have to bring it up every meeting.
It was the meeting. We were going over the budget with all the teachers, and she's the treasurer.
She arrived eventually. She just had a slight delay. Besides, it was her date night.
It was not slight. It was 45 minutes.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but if I'm elected president, anyone late will be punished.
Hey, we can't make our promises or do any speeches till everyone is here. I call for disqualification of Karen for not following guidelines.
Well, I call for the disqualification of Becky for bringing store-bought brownies to the PTA Christmas party 2 years ago.
If I am disqualified for that, then you should be disqualified for calling it a Christmas party. This is a public school. We are secular.
Let's all calm down. We're all friends here.
Well, at least I don't lie about baked goods.
Ladies, please stop.
You know I was dealing with things that week.
Just because you put your dog down doesn't mean you can't make a batch of brownies.
How dare you, Mr. Snuffles?
I'm so sorry I'm late. Sam got gum in her hair just as my husband was taking her to her dance lessons and crazy.
That is no problem. I'm sure we've all been there. Now that you're here, let's just get this ball rolling. We have a lot of work to do tonight, and I see a new face in the crowd. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Kelly. I just moved here a few weeks ago from Wentzville.
What brings you here to Afton? Wentzville has great schools.
Just wanted to change the scenery, you know?
Oh, how are you liking the area?
Yes. Have you been to Brian's barbecue yet? It's delicious.
Oh, no, I'm just...
I think it's time we move on to our business, please.
Yes, I hate to agree, but we have more pressing matters like voting on the PTA president.
Now remember, voting comes last. First, we have to go over the budget, hear suggestions, deal with the March issue, and then we can vote.
Let's get things started then. Brooke, what was our budget for 2020?
We had $500 from
Great, thanks, Brooke. Since we didn't spend any of it because we were in the pandemic, the 500 will roll over into next year. Now let's start with suggestions.
We did spend money.
On what? We didn't have any parties, we didn't have any auctions, and all the fundraiser money, we got it back.
Well, yeah.
Well, what?
Well, you know how we had those fundraisers?
Yes.
And we were supposed to earn back all the money.
My God, what did you do, Brooke?
Oh,
I wanted to get us more money so everyone would stop thinking I was incompetent. And so I invested in Bitcoin, but it turns out that was a scam, and now we have nothing left in our budget. I'm sorry.
now why would you think we think you're incompetent?
Because she was so dumb that one, she thought investing in Bitcoin would make her money, and two, she lost all our money. Not to mention she was late for going over the budget when she's literally the treasurer.
I vote that Brooke has to pay back all $500.
What?
I second that.
I vote that she has to pay it back and resign.
Ladies, that is just not appropriate. We all make mistakes, and in the long run, Brooks wasn't even that bad. Usually we don't have money to roll over to the next year anyway because we give the extra to the school.
Actually, we usually keep $50 to pay for new PTA pens and a gift card for the new president.
Well, those things aren't really necessary, are they? I'm sure Brooke is very sorry and that it won't happen again, right, Brooke?
Yes, never again.
All right, next order of business.
Oh, whoa. What do you mean, next order of business?
We need to
pay the pins and the gift card. This is unacceptable.
When I'm elected president, I will pay for the pins out of my own pocket, and I don't need a gift card. Helping the school truly is its own payment.
I wasn't trying to say that I needed a gift card, Karen. I was simply pointing out that there won't be one. Also, those buttons are so hazardous to children. What if a toddler got a hold of one and accidentally poked its eye out? When I am elected president, we will all have t-shirts and I will pay for them. Because as we all know, my husband runs a very successful t-shirt business.
Making screen prints in your garage doesn't count as a company, Becky. And are you sure you have enough money to pay for the t-shirts? We know you're going through some hard times after your husband quit his job for his amazing t-shirt business.
At least my husband goes after his dreams. Your husband peaked in high school and spends his days selling dental insurance.
Makes a lot of
I
money.
would rather live frugally and
money.
follow my dreams than live like you and die knowing nothing I did matters.
Ladies, that is just not appropriate, and I will not tolerate bullying on this committee. We're dedicated to making the school a better place by fundraising, petitioning, and leading by example. Please apologize to each other.
Sorry.
Let's move on. The next order of business is community complaints and suggestions. I have compiled all the emails I have gotten in the last month about these, and we have Kelly here to present an issue directly to us.
Oh, how fun.
These meetings have always been committee members only, except in August, there's teachers.
I figured we could try something new. Did you know that the 7th biggest complaint I get is that these are closed meetings?
I don't see the problem. If they want to come to the meetings, then they can join the committee. This is how it's been since the start of school.
Thank you for the reminder, Carol, but I have decided to disregard that rule today. You see, Kelly specifically asked to come to this meeting. Who am I to stop her from getting involved in the school community? Maybe she'll even enter in the presidential race.
That would be quite preposterous, considering she hasn't done anything or even been to a meeting before this.
Not to mention, she moved here just 4 months ago in June. She doesn't even know how our policies work.
In the handbook, it says you have to be an active member in the community to run for president. I doubt she can even technically run.
Actually, she has been helping out with the student care packages. I saw her name on the sign-up sheet, and I remember because I was like, oh, who's that? And then I Facebook stalked her.
Thank you for the great contribution, Brooke.
No problem.
Okay, enough talking about Kelly. Why doesn't Kelly tell us some more about herself? Kelly, I believe we got interrupted at the beginning of our call. Tell us some more about you.
Hi, I'm Kelly. I have a daughter named Julia and a son named Jean.
Oh, what grades are they in?
Julia is in 5th grade and Jean is in 4th grade.
Are you married?
Why, yes, I have a wonderful husband named Damien. He works as an architect.
Did he design your house?
Actually, no, he specializes in religious buildings.
What does that even mean?
Religious buildings have to meet special requirements, so he helps them meet them and look beautiful.
Wow, that's amazing, Kelly. I wish my husband did something that cool. All mine seems to know how to do is sleep.
Yeah.
What do you do, Kelly?
I work as a part-time secretary at my husband's work. That way, my husband and I can go to lunch together most days.
No, that is just the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
So, why'd you move here in the first place? Did you want to stir up some trouble? Just kidding. Just kidding.
As I said at the beginning of this meeting, he wanted a change of scenery.
I always say change of scenery is good for the soul.
Actually, you've never said that before.
Thanks, Carol. Moving on now, let's start with the email complaints. First, the biggest complaint this month is students not making friends or being social. I have received upwards of 20 emails asking us to do something to get the kids connected during these hard times. Does anyone have any ideas?
My whole platform for presidency is about staying connected. When I am elected, none of the children will be left out.
Great, and how will you be doing that?
By helping them stay connected.
And how will you do that?
But clearly, she doesn't have a plan. She just wants to try and get everyone to vote for her with lies.
That is not true.
Well, I actually have a plan to help with COVID.
And what would that be?
I can't unveil it until I'm president. Think of it as an incentive to vote for me.
I am calling your bluff. You don't have a plan, just like me.
Ha! You admitted it. You don't have a plan. I do have a plan. I'm just saving it for when I am elected.
She definitely has a plan. I've seen it before.
Thank you, Karen.
If you have a plan, then how many steps are in it, Karen?
12.
I rest my case.
That isn't fair. You kind of sprung that on us.
Okay, clearly none of you can help with this, so we're moving on to the Marge issue.
I don't understand why she doesn't just move. This has been a problem every single year.
Ladies, I know it's frustrating, but I really think this year we can solve this. This is the year without the Marge issue.
What is the Marge issue exactly?
Oh, we can't tell you since it's official PTA business. You shouldn't even have heard of it. I am assuming that Donna forgot to put you in the waiting room.
Actually, I didn't. I think it would be nice to have some new ears and new ideas.
How will Kelly help? She doesn't even know the Marge issue, and let alone the full extent of it. All she could do is waste our time and ask questions.
I am sure that once it is explained to her, Kelly will be a great help. Right, Kelly?
Yeah, I would love to help you guys.
Okay.
These are ladies, not guys.
Okay, here's the shortened version of the Marge story. About 20 years ago, a husband and wife moved in right behind the playground of the school. They were absolutely delightful. They would buy extra balls for the kids, and they would throw the balls right back when they went over the schoolyard fence. The husband was especially nice. He loved kids, and every winter he would buy all the kids candy. Then about 5 years ago, he died and left his wife a widow.
That's when things started to go bad.
At first, it was just not going above and beyond anymore. No more candy in winter or new balls were thrown over. It was a little disappointing, but a woman had lost her husband. No one was really that upset.
Actually, I can remember my oldest, Tommy, being quite distraught when he didn't get his winter candy.
Thank you for that comment, Brooke. Now here's when it got bad. The wife began to keep the balls that came into her yard. At first, we thought she just couldn't throw them over because of her age. And so I was sent to go check on her. When I knocked on the door and explained our thoughts, she began to yell. She said that she was keeping the balls because the kids were ungrateful and didn't respect their things. She probably yelled for about 10 minutes until I just walked away.
Wait, 10 minutes? I thought you just yelled that and then slammed the door.
Well,
This is what she said last time she told the story, but it changes
okay.
every single time.
Let me tell the story.
Sorry, go on.
So after that, we decided to just tell the kids to be more careful. It wasn't that big of a deal since it was only a few balls and parents donated new ones. But then the complaints began. It started with an email to the school complaining that the children were too loud and woke her up. We apologized, but said this is when they always have recess and it's very hard to regulate children's noise. This didn't appease her. The school started getting emails every week about it. And when they stopped responding, everyone on the PTA got weekly emails. Eventually, we all knew to ignore her.
I remember those emails. They were pages long and written in this ridiculous sized font. If you ever responded to them, she would just email you even more.
That sounds awful.
It was, but it only gets worse.
We started ignoring her emails. She started to throw the balls back over, only they were popped and deflated. It was truly horrific. It seemed like she stood in her yard during recess just waiting for the ball to go over the fence so she could pop it and throw it back over.
My poor kids were traumatized by that. I remember some horrible 8th grader started a rumor that the principal threw bad children over the fence to be popped.
Children can just be so cruel. Oh my
I can agree with you on that.
Wow, that's horrible. It sounds like she's really grieving.
Grieving. That old lady is a horrible woman. She's not grieving. She's enjoying her little sick psychopathic games.
That woman is horrible and you should not be pitying her.
Well, to me, it just sounds like she misses her husband and has no outlet for it. Did anyone from the school ever go try to talk to her after her husband died?
No, we didn't know her name. It would have been awkward.
You didn't know her name? How did you find out it was Marge? Why didn't you just use that as a way to figure it out?
We still don't kind of know what her name is. We just call her Marge because it's easier to explain to the kids. We just don't know her name. It's easier that way. Let's work.
I'm going to give you all my honest opinion. Someone needs to go over there and apologize to her. and thank her and her husband. To me, this is a story of a lady who is so lonely, she emails to complaints to get people to talk to her. She's crying for help.
Well, Kelly, at this point, I think it's too late to do much apologizing.
Besides, we don't even know her name. Let's just call the cops on her and see if that'll stop her. Yeah.
We will not be calling the cops on anyone, Karen. I think Kelly has a point. We might have been looking at this from the wrong angle. I think it's high time we actually go and talk to her about what's happening. After this meeting, I'll arrange a gift basket and the new president can go over and chat with her. Thank you so much for giving us your perspective, Kelly.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now that we have that taken care of, let's move to Kelly. What did you want to talk to us about?
I wanted to bring up a school gardening plot. Before we moved here, my children and I were very active in our school garden. Every Wednesday in the spring, summer, and fall, we would work in the garden for an hour. It was a great way to get outside, learn about nature, make friends, and get my kids away from screens. I was wondering if we could take the northeast corner of the playground and turn it into a garden. All the children could benefit from it. I've also done a lot of research on the cost. If we have a fundraiser for the initial investment, then we could sell the products of our garden to fund the rest of it.
Kelly, I love that idea. I can't believe none of us have ever thought of it. That would be a great activity and it would fix our first problem of staying connected. If the kids kept their masks on and stayed 6 feet apart, then they could easily play and work in the garden. This is amazing.
I hate that I'm agreeing, but this is a great idea. My kids would definitely benefit from some time away from screens. They would also work on responsibility, which is always good.
And I have a great idea for a fundraiser. We could have a raffle to pick the name of the garden and what we planted.
Yes.
The kids will love it.
Oh my
We
gosh.
could also
that's
raffle off like time slots for families to rent it out. It'll be so fun.
Am I the only one seeing all the flaws with this? Who is going to build this garden? What happens in the winter? She said all the other three, but what's happening in the winter? When someone, keyword inevitably, gets poisoned, how will we even control this garden? And hear me out when I say this. What if some juvenile delinquent comes and plants marijuana in it?
They do
We're
that.
going to have to hire a security guard to watch it. Literally, oh my gosh.
Debbie down.
Karen, you are way overthinking this. I'm sure the dads of our community would love to help build this, and the poisoning thing will probably not happen. Also, we do not need a security guard. If that happens, we'll simply unroot it and put it in compost. This is a great way to bring the community together. And if you're the only one against it, then I vote to start for the garden.
I second that vote.
I third that vote.
All right, that's the majority. After this meeting, the elected president and Brooke, our treasurer, can begin to research. Now let's get into the actual election. So far in the running, we have Becky and Karen, both nominated by themselves. Remember, you are not allowed to vote for yourself. Does anyone have any questions before I send out the Google form?
Actually, I have something I'd like to say. I want to nominate Kelly as a candidate. She's already solved our two biggest problems and she's kind. I think she would make an amazing president.
Oh, Brooke, thank you so
What?
much.
She can't be nominated. She's just moved. I've been working here for the past 2 years, and I knew ever since Donna announced she was stepping down, I would be president. I am not about to lose to this dirty garden hippie.
Oh my gosh, did you really just say that? What is this, the 70s?
Karen, that was way too far. You're my best friend, but Kelly seems nice.
I agree with Carol. Kelly has done more in one meeting than we have in 4 years. I really wanted to be president, but I think Kelly might be our actual best bet.
You all are doing a lot of talking, but what I'm hearing is you all are just jealous of me. My husband is just rich and I can have whatever I want. You all think you're so great and welcoming with the new girl and inviting her to the PTA meeting. Well, guess what? When she screws everything up, I won't be here to fix it.
Calm down, Karen. Please refrain from using that kind of language in our meetings. We're supposed to set an example for the school, not a counter example. Now, all the presidential candidates are going to say why they should be elected, and then we're going to vote. Please refrain from slandering any other opponents. Becky, you may go first.
Actually, I have decided to drop out. Kelly seems like a really great president.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Becky.
Of course, of
Hey.
course.
Then we will move on to Karen. Karen, please take a few minutes to tell us why you would make a good PTA president.
Okay, the people, we have numbers, so listen up. For starters, I've been an active member of the school committee for the past 6 years. You see the awards behind me. I've been a part of PTA for 5 of those 6 years, and I plan to bring back old traditions. Our students have forgotten how grateful they should be, and I vow to change that. I also have a plan for staying connected during COVID, yada, yada. If I'm elected president, I'll invoke it. Thank you.
Could you give us some highlights of your plan?
No.
All right, Karen, if that is all, you can start, Kelly.
Right. First, I want to say that I'm honored to be nominated. I just moved to this area, but I'm already so passionate about it. If I become president, I will make PTA meetings more open to outsiders. I will meet with Marge and get our balls back. I will plant a garden so that students can learn responsibilities. I will invest in more books and art supplies, and I will find ways to stay connected during COVID. I will build this school up one brick at a time.
Oh,
Thank you both for those speeches. I'll send out a Google form and give us all a few minutes to answer them.
Make your decision wisely, ladies.
we will, Karen.
All right, I just finished.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'll go check the results. The new PTA president is Kelly. Congratulations. I will help you ease into this.
What do you mean it's Kelly? I have been here way longer. I donate the most money to the school. I'm the biggest contributor to our fundraisers. It should be me. How dare you elect someone as idiotic as this woman? And all she does is just come in and just tell us everything.
I can't believe you just did that.
I was getting a little bit sick of her bad attitude. I can't wait to work with you, Kelly. You will be an excellent president.
I can tell that this PTA year is going to be amazing.
Yeah, and that garden idea seems pretty legit.
I agree. I just hope it'll get my kids out of the house for a little.
Don't we all want that?
Well, I cannot wait to begin my presidency.